What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Lesser Athletes. My name is Chadwell, and today, like always, an interesting video for you here on the channel. What is up with the recent mysterious man on Monday Night Raw and Survivor Series? Today, we are going to talk about this masked man or men that could be on Survivor Series Raw that is interfering with matches. Have 4 different theories for you, and then we will talk about each one. I would probably say they are most likely to least likely, but in general, there's 4 theories that we can just talk about. I'm very excited to talk about this video because I do think that they could be going in an interesting way with this, but I hope that there is some ultimate payoff to this. Other than that, let's get started. I know you guys like faster videos, so let's just begin. Theory, legitimately, number 1, is that it's just Austin Theory. We're going to go with probably the most common one and the one that everyone expects because of rumors and because of what's been going on. The first one is Austin Theory is just the person, and this is obviously set up to put him into the Vision. This is how I could see it happening. I'm going to mention some different ways. I think we're going to see this character keep going on nonstop throughout, matches on Raw, and then ultimately we could see maybe the night before or the Monday night before the match, we see maybe this masked figure take out Logan Paul. And then ultimately we have the next Raw, somebody taking out somebody else, and then Breaker wins the title. I think this is a possibility, and then we get the reveal of who it is, which is Austin Theory, and then he joins the Vision. Now, the reason why I say the Monday night before with Logan Paul is because I think they're going to try and swerve at least a little bit to not make it just so obvious that this is a new Vision member. I think the plan is probably for him to go after people that don't look like maybe somebody at the Vision, and I do think it would be Logan Paul because I think, to be honest with you, I don't think Logan Paul will stay in the Vision for long, and I could see maybe the feud for WrestleMania is Logan Paul versus this masked man. Or a tag match with Logan Paul and somebody else with the Bronson Reed and these two, maybe, or just maybe it's just Logan Paul and this guy with a tag match at WrestleMania. I don't know. But I do ultimately believe that this is probably Austin Theory. It's just how deep do we go with Austin Theory? But I do have some other stuff as well to talk about. Theory number 2 is that it is Austin Theory because I no matter what, in some shape or form, I do think Austin Theory is involved with this. But what if it's not for the Vision? Now, I've seen some theories on this. I keep saying theory and it's just making me cringe because it is Austin Theory. But I've seen some theories about how, what if this is a new group for Seth Rollins so that they're going to keep doing this masked figure and masked thing nonstop. And then ultimately it goes into a Seth Rollins faction. My theory number 2 is that the plan is for Austin Theory and, to just be the new type of Braun Breaker for Seth Rollins, where Braun Breaker was that right-hand man for Seth Rollins, the enforcer, in the bloodline we've had with Solo Sikoa. So maybe the way is theories under Seth Rollins, and we're having Austin Theory interfere with the matches for the Vision, and then ultimately we're going to have Austin Theory be revealed for Seth Rollins. This one's interesting because I think that this could just be it, or I think it's a more developed story than this. I think this goes into other points that I have with other theories, but this isn't the only thing from this theory. Because to be honest with you, would we want to see just one person being the one? I don't think so. But I feel like if they're trying to do this masked man attack, I think it would be more likely not just Austin Theory. I would say these last 2 are probably the ones that don't make the most sense, most unlikely to happen, but one change factor and it's the most likely to happen. So what if it's just multiple men? That's what we need to consider at first. I think the movement style of that second guy that we just saw on Raw, maybe not the second guy, the same guy, whatever, doesn't that feel like Montez Ford? Rewatch that and think of how Montez Ford would move. He felt like Montez Ford to me. I don't know how to explain it. It just felt like a Montez Ford kind of feel. And for that reason, what if the plan is for a new group led by someone not Seth Rollins? So I'm going to just say for now, what if it's just a not Seth Rollins led group? I'm not really thinking of people, maybe who would go after CM Punk in this world title? It could be an LA Knight, but he just got written off. That's why I don't have LA Knight here, is because I do think ultimately he did get written off. So I'm not going to throw out LA Knight, but could it be for somebody else on Raw? Maybe a Chris Jericho. Maybe oh my gosh, I'm just throwing out names. I just need to preference that before I keep going. Maybe the plan is for Chris Jericho to come back, and then it's like, this is what was the gimmick he had in AEW? The youth tree? Whatever. Maybe he's trying to say this is the new youth. Maybe this is the new generation that I'm going to lead to the real vision, and then something like that. I don't know. I don't like that one, but I'm trying to think about just people who could lead this that would make sense, not named Seth Rollins. But I do think with rumors of Ricky Saints moving up, with NXT talent, with others, with Montez Ford-esque feels, you have to explain if Angelo Dawkins leaving him. It just feels like there's something there. Like, I could see a group of three of a Ricky Saints, Montez Ford, and Austin Theory, maybe Buddy Matthews in some sense, becoming into a group together to go after the vision and to go after CM Punk for this title. And that's why maybe the week before we see them going after the vision to really throw a curveball, and then we see why. It's because they're going for everybody. Or they do that so that they can go after the vision after of like Logan Paul, and that's why you think it's not going after the vision, then it ultimately is Austin Theory. My last one is that ultimately Seth Rollins just returns and he forms the new vision. Now, Austin Theory was always somebody that it felt like was going to be a part of this group, and it was the plan before Seth Rollins got injured. Maybe the new plan is when Seth Rollins comes back. I think it could happen before Mania with how rumors had it. Seth Rollins comes back and he has his new vision. Maybe the old vision has the tag titles. We have the new vision going against the old vision, going for the tag titles, while Seth goes against Braun for the world title at WrestleMania. You could see 2 to 3 men. If you do have a Logan Paul there, then it'll be 3-on-3, and we would have maybe, again, a Ricky Saints, an Austin Theory, a Montez Ford, all coming together and going after this new vision. I think the place where we could see these reveals is going to be at this debut of Raw. I feel like that's where we see either if it's maybe a Monday Night Messiah type gimmick that comes around and we see them taking out people on that Raw, maybe others that you don't expect. And ultimately at the end, we do hear like burn it down, or we do see that Seth Rollins unmasked and we find out it's Seth Rollins taking out Punk and Braun Breaker because they want the gold. But again, it just feels like for now that they're either going to go the way of Austin Theory, and I really do think the way they say it is that they keep interfering with matches until that Raw right before the championship. I don't know what time or day that is. And then Austin Theory ultimately takes out Logan Paul, and then you're like, okay, well, what's happening now? And then he takes out Logan Paul, kicks him out the vision. He is the new person in the vision. Or they go this route. I think Seth Rollins coming back with a new group, with a new people, it could make sense. Seth Rollins reportedly is ramping up and starting to actually look like he could go into WrestleMania season. I would love it personally. I'm not going to bank on it and trust it. But please let that happen. All right, now, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.